Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Local news, the updated video surveillance policy has finally been approved by Lloydminster City Council. Receiving its third and final reading, the video surveillance policy has been updated for better clarity moving forward. Last updated in 2015, the policy also ensures facial recognition software will not be added.
One discussion was around the amount of time that the video surveillance information is retained, 21 days. There's a cost to keeping that information. It's just like anything else that's information storage. It is the standard in many cases. Some are 7 days, but the city had looked at 21 days and currently are at 21 days, and we're going to maintain that.
Council's reception to the updated policy was positive, with everyone on board for an extra layer of security in Lloydminster.
Ensuring that where it was intended to protect city assets, to provide information to law enforcement agencies should we run into vandalism or other criminal activities on city property. And simply that's where it will stand. Is for that it's to protect the residents and their investment, because it's really the investment of city property from vandalism and other things that we're experiencing.
Two areas planned for more surveillance are Bud Miller Park and the Service Sports Centre. The annual Terry Fox Run is set to go in Lloydminster next month. Stacey Comer has more on what's planned for the event.
Heather Klages is joining me today. Heather is a familiar face around the city for many reasons, but today, Heather, chatting about the Terry Fox Run. Normally people will listen to you on Real Country in the afternoons, but you have been involved with the Terry Fox Run for many, many years now. So let's talk about this year's event. Where is it and when does it start?
The Terry Fox Run is coming up on Sunday, September the 17th this year, and once again we're fortunate enough to be able to host it at Bud Miller Park. And so that morning registration will start at 9 a.m. and then we're going to get the run, the walk, the cycle, however you choose to take part, we're going to get that underway at 10 a.m. that morning.
Well, and this is an event where you can register as a team if you want that support of a group, or you can just go by yourself, correct?
Yes, if you have a group of people, maybe it's family members, maybe it's co-workers that want to take part, we certainly encourage you to get that team together, because you'll kind of encourage each other to not only maybe run your first 5K, but also to help raise some funds. But if you want to register as an individual, we welcome that as well. All registrations are open right now, and it is free to register for the Terry Fox Run.
And when people register, Heather, do they have to raise a certain amount of money, or is it whatever they can raise?
There's no minimum requirement for raising funds. If you raise $5, that's fantastic. If you raise $50, it's fantastic. If you get a team together and you raise $500, that's absolutely amazing, because every dollar helps and every dollar goes to the Terry Fox Foundation.
One thing you were mentioning too is there's a postcard campaign. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So this year the campaign, the Terry Fox Foundation, they want to hear from people about how Terry Fox has inspired them. So if somebody is registered in the past, they may have received this postcard in the mail already. And when Terry Fox was on his Marathon of Hope, so many people wrote a letter or a postcard, and some of them, they just addressed it to Terry Fox in British Columbia, and it found its way to his parents' house. So they were just inspired by going through some of these old letters, and they kind of want people to go back to that time when you picked up a pen and some paper and you wrote a message to somebody and dropped it in the mail, and also to think about what you were going through or where you happened to be when Terry Fox started his Marathon of Hope and how he inspired you. So you're encouraged to write that on a postcard and send it in.
And how can they get those postcards, Heather?
We do have some of them available here in Lloydminster, so you can get in touch with me at the radio station and we can get you one of those postcards. And we also will have some at the run that day. And if you have one or you pick one up at the run that day and fill it in and leave it with us, we're going to put your name in a draw for one of these Terry Fox t-shirts this year.
For people who maybe haven't had a chance to do the run, you know, they hear about it, but they don't come out, what can they expect that day?
They can expect a lot of great people that are united for a very important cause. And we just have a brief opening ceremonies, and then we go over the route. And because we're fortunate to be at Bud Miller Park, we're able to use a lot of the trails that are paved. So if you don't want to leave the pavement, we'll put together a route that you can do that just keeps you on the pavement. If you're more of a runner and you want to go on some of those trails with the gravel, that's kind of what our full 5K looks like. But if you just want to do like a couple loops that are a couple of K and that becomes your 5K, we put that together too. So we've got a couple of different options, and we always have water and snacks, and there will also be some t-shirts for sale there as well. So if you can't take part in the run that day, but you want to swing by and get a t-shirt, you're welcome to do that.
And what about financially, as far as, I know we talked about just raising and bringing whatever you can, but do you set a goal locally?
We do set a goal, and last year we set, I want to say maybe a not very ambitious goal, and we reached it early. So we bumped that goal up to $10,000 last year, and we surpassed that. We were fortunate enough to raise $11,000 last year. And so this year we've set the goal for $10,000 once again this year. And right now we're at $800. So we're doing very well already.
All right, Heather, well, thank you so much for joining me today. And once again, if people are looking to either register or just get more information, what's the best way to do that?
terryfox.org is the website for the Terry Fox Foundation. They have so much great information there on where the funds go and the kind of research that they're doing to find cures for cancer. And if you're looking specifically for the Terry Fox run in Lloydminster, I'd recommend the Real Country 95.9 page, because we've got the link to that exact run right there so that you can register for the run. Maybe you know somebody who's taking part. Maybe you want to support the Lloydminster firefighters because they've got a team together once again. You can make that donation right there.
All right, Heather, well, thank you so much and good luck with the run.
Thank you very much.
And Shelby Clark is here for a look at weather. Hopefully, once the Terry Fox run takes place next month, we're seeing a little nicer temperatures than we saw today, hey?
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. Like, we are kind of seeing these temperatures start to slowly warm up as we head into next week.
Yeah.
I know it's a bit gloomy this week, but
There's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm hoping that after next week, we will be seeing some nice 20+ temperatures kind of continue on, and hopefully, stay in time for the Terry Fox run. So
yeah,
we shall see. But we have been seeing kind
Fingers
of a gloomy
crossed.
week this week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We've been seeing that kind of continue on, and I think today's probably been one of the coolest of the week. Hopefully we will be starting to see it warm up as we go on through the week, but we never know. Right now we are just sitting at 16 here in the border city for our Tuesday. So we haven't been seeing too much sun either for today. Peeking behind those clouds, unfortunately, it has been quite a switch up. I know a lot of people, even though it does cool down, we like to see some sunnier skies. Kind of helps with that a little bit, help warm things up, make it nice and pretty outside, but it has been a gloomy day today. So we are just sitting at 16, and it still is kind of some fall temperatures. Make sure you got those that light jacket ready and whatnot, but also make sure you have your umbrellas ready, because we will be seeing some precipitation kind of continue on through the week. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, most spots are kind of following suit with us here in the border city. Most of them are looking slightly warmer. We have one matching with us down in Wainwright at 16, and the rest are just a couple degrees warmer compared to what we're just sitting at. Most are just sitting around 17 degrees, and then we have 18 in some of these spots, as well as seeing the warmest condition on our Alberta side. Over in Edmonton, there in Vermilion, and more up in these spots here too are just sitting at 18. So for the most part, we all haven't really reached that 20-degree mark for today. Going over to our Saskatchewan side, they also are kind of matching with us with those temperatures. Most are just sitting around 15 and 16 down in this area here, but then we start to warm up from there. We're looking at 17 in St. Walburg, and the rest are mostly just sitting at 18 degrees. And a bit higher up to Isle of Cross, they are still seeing slightly warmer conditions for today. They're just sitting at 21 degrees. So they are just sitting past that 20-degree mark, but the rest haven't quite reached there yet for today. North Battleford is just sitting at 15. For tonight, they won't be cooling down by too much. For a low tonight, they will be going down to a low of 12. So expecting those double digits once again for their evening low. They are expecting more of a gloomier evening tonight. Indeed, they won't be seeing a high chance of precipitation. And then for their Wednesday tomorrow, daytime high of 20, so they hopefully will be seeing a beautiful day tomorrow, as they are just now hitting that 20-degree mark and seeing a mixture of some sun and clouds. So should be a beautiful Wednesday for North Battleford. Cold late tonight will be going down to low of 11, so they also will be expecting those double digits for tonight. More of a warm evening. They are expecting more of a cloudy evening, not seeing a high chance of precipitation, so no rainfall expected. And then for their Wednesday, looking at a daytime high of 20 degrees as well, so also reaching that 20-degree mark and expecting a day of mixture of some sun and clouds. So hopefully a beautiful day for Cold Lake. And then for us here in the border city, we will be expecting that low of 11, so not cooling down by too much from what we're just sitting at right now at 16. We are expecting more of some low clouds throughout the evening. We won't be seeing a high chance of precipitation, more just a cloudy evening. And And then for our Wednesday, we'll be looking at a daytime high of 19, so not quite reaching that 20-degree mark, unfortunately, but we also are expecting a couple of showers later on in the afternoon. So be prepared for that. We are going to be seeing some precipitation later on in tomorrow. And now ending with taking a look at some of your weather photo submissions. I appreciate everybody submitting some nice weather shots still. Even though we don't have our Facebook news page anymore, you can see you are able to still submit some good weather photos to our email there. This one is from Ken. Gorgeous shot. Love to see it. Thank you for this. Love seeing the clouds. This one's from Lee. This is such a beautiful shot. This is so nice, AJ. That's a nice one. That is a nice one. I really like that one there. And these are some gorgeous shots from a friend of mine, Josue. Thank you so much for these gorgeous shots. This is the last one here in Banff. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Love to see it, everybody. Thank you so much. And that's all I have for now for First Look at your weather forecast.
Some amazing photos there, Shelby. Thank you for that. Stay with us, though. After the break, more on a new type of scam that is circulating more often in social media groups. The Lloyd Lanes Bowling Alley summer season is coming to a close, and with that, leagues will be starting up soon again. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
Today I am joined by Jody McDonald, the owner of the Lloyd Lanes Bowling Alley, and she is here today to talk to us about the upcoming leagues that will be starting this fall, as well as all the other events that will be taking place this fall. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Jody.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Jody, so talk to me a little bit about these leagues that will be starting upcoming this September, as well as all those other changes that will be happening once the summer comes to an end.
So after September long weekend, we will be back to our regular hours of being open basically 7 days a week. We will be having all of our leagues start the Tuesday after the long weekend is when they kick off. For our kids leagues, we have a tot league that'll be running Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. and that's for 2 to 5-year-olds. We also have our youth bowling league that runs 30 weeks, so our whole season, and that is on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. We also have it on Saturdays at 10 a.m., but that shift is already full. And then this year, new for the first time ever, we're trying out a homeschool bowling league, and that is set to run Tuesdays at 10:30 in the morning. To sign up for any of those leagues, we have all of our forms online this year. They are on our website under leagues, so lloydlanesbowling.com. We also offer adult leagues. We have Wednesday and Thursday night 30-week leagues, and those are filled sadly already. But we do have a ladies league on Monday nights at 8 p.m. It's called Dolls with Balls. And we also have beer leagues that run Tuesday nights at 6:30 and 8:30. And for any seniors out there looking for something to do to get out in the afternoon, we have a 55 plus league starting on the Wednesday after the long weekend, and that runs at 1 p.m. And lastly, we also have Special Olympics League, and that'll be on Monday nights at 5:30. And so you can just get a hold of the Special Olympics Lloydminster chapter to sign anybody up that's interested in that. We also will be running public alongside anytime that we're not having leagues, we'll be running public. And so to find out all of our hours, you can follow us on Facebook at Lloyd Lanes Bowling or on our website.
And so Jody, with both the adult leagues that are still open and all of the youth leagues, are there any skill requirements in order to bowl, or could you be a first timer and be able to start bowling in the leagues coming up this fall?
All of our kids leagues, we have coaches, and so there's zero skill level. Like, you come in and they will help you out and teach you how to bowl. In the kids leagues, there are opportunity to do tournaments. There's some out of town tournaments and there's some in-house tournaments. The adult leagues are 30-week leagues. Those are already full, and those tend to have people that have been bowling for quite a while already. And what is left open is our dolls on Monday nights, the women's league and the beer league. And you need zero skill for that at all. Like, we have all the newbies can come into there, and it's an awesome way to meet people. and they bowl two games a night.
And so finally, if someone is interested in joining any of these leagues or looking into more information about Lloyd Lanes in general, where can they go to find out all that information?
The deadline would be after the long weekend, and so we're 2 weeks away today from our start date. Sometimes we can have some late signups if we have a lot of room, but a lot of our leagues are starting to fill, so you want to get on that right away. And with each form, online form, there's all the information, the pricing, the times that all the leagues run.
Thank you so much for all the information, Jody, and hopefully we will have a lot more bowlers joining leagues this coming up fall.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
And now it's time for us to check in once again with Shelby Clark for another look at weather.
Thanks so much again there, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking an extended look at your weather forecast. We'll be starting off with our central zone of the provinces. On our Alberta side here, we are still kind of matching with those temperatures with what we saw yesterday. So we are looking at those cool temperatures continue on through the week. Most of these spots are still sitting at those teen temperatures. We have 19 and 18 in most of these spots. And then we have Rocky Mountain House now looking slightly warmer, just at 21 as they just now passed that 20-degree mark. But then we have slightly cooler with 17 up in Athabasca, Whitecourt and Edson both at 16. So we're even cooling down to those mid-teen temperatures, but hopefully we will be seeing these conditions start to warm up as we go on into our weekend, into next week. Going over to our Saskatchewan side, they are matching with us with those conditions, even looking slightly cooler with most spots on our Saskatchewan side at 15 degrees. So they also are kind of matching at those mid-teen temperatures. And then over in Meadow Lake looking slightly warmer, matching with Cold Lake with 18 degrees. So they're just a couple of degrees off from that 20-degree mark. Going over to our northern zone, they are still continuing on with that warm streak. They have been seeing nicer conditions than what we are looking at in our central and our southern zone that we saw yesterday. Now for today, they are still continuing that. We're seeing those mid-20 temperatures for most of these spots. 26 up in Uranium City and Stony Rapids. We start to slightly cool down. 24 degrees with Wollaston Lake and South End. Looking at 22 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows. And over in Flin Flon, the coolest just at 20 degrees, but they all are just hitting that 20-degree mark or just above. Going back over to Alberta side here in our northern zone, they have cooled down slightly from what they saw yesterday, especially down in Slave Lake and Grand Prairie at 17 and 18. So they are sitting at those teen temperatures now, but the rest start to warm up from there. 21 in Peace River, while it is 23 in Fort McMurray, and then High Level and Fort Chipewyan both at 25. So seeing those mid-20s for the most part on our Alberta side in our northern zones. So still looking quite warm. Now as we go over to our southern zone, they have warmed up slightly in some of these spots. Medicine Hat and Lethbridge especially with 22 and 23 now, as they are just past that 20-degree mark. They were looking cooler yesterday, and then we are back to those cool temperatures. Calgary is just sitting at 19, and then we have 15 and 16 in Banff and Coronation. So still looking slightly cool in our southern zone, kind of match with us more in our central area. And going back over to our Saskatchewan side here in our southern area, they are looking slightly warmer. They were sitting at those teen temperatures as well, looking at those mid-teen temperatures around 15, 16 yesterday, but now they are moving back past that 20-degree mark. Regina is just at 20, while it is 21, 22 for Moose Jaw and Swift Current. Looking at 23 now down in Estevan as they are looking at the warmest condition, and then up in Yorkton and Kindersley, slightly cooler, just at 15 and 17. But now as you look at some overnight evening lows on this list in our surrounding area for what we can expect tonight, we will be expecting those double digits once again for our evening low temperatures. Isla Cross will be expecting that low of 13, so expecting the warmest temperature, a low of 12 that Meadow Lake and Paradise Hill are going to be seeing tonight. And Bonnyville and Provost are expecting that low of 11. So we are going to be seeing those double digits for most of our spots in our surrounding area. So a warm temperature, although we will be seeing more of a gloomy evening. We won't be seeing too high chances of precipitation. So no precipitation expected for these spots. And looking at our hourly forecast for our Wednesday here in the border city, we won't be warming up by too much from what we have been seeing for the past couple days. Unfortunately, we have been kind of expecting that. We are supposed to be kind of warming up to around 18, 19 tomorrow, although we aren't going to be expecting nice conditions. We are going to be seeing another slightly gloomy day. We're hoping to get a little bit more sunshine peeking behind those clouds, but we are expecting around a 85% chance of some showers throughout the day. But hopefully we will be seeing a little bit more sun. You'll start to peek behind those clouds throughout the day, so maybe we'll have a nice balance for our Wednesday. And as we continue into our Thursday, we will be seeing those that precipitation continue on. So like I said, make sure you got your umbrellas ready. It's going to be hitting us hard this week. And then as we head into the weekend, we will be looking at some beautiful temperatures, starting off with 21 on Friday and then getting closer to that 30-degree mark Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be a switch up for our weekend, and we finally will be hitting that 30-degree mark next Monday. So we will have some scorchers ahead, and we will be seeing those warm conditions continue on into next week. That's all I have for now. RJ Smacky will have more news coming up after the break.
I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and today we have a gorgeous dog named Martha. I love when dogs and cats have people named, so perfect name for her. Tell me a little bit about her story and how she came to the shelter.
So Martha came in a few months ago. It's been just over 2 months that she's been here. She came in as a stray from the city of Lloyd. She is very food motivated, loves to work for treats, and very affectionate. Loves to run. One of our guys that works here likes to take her running with the longboard, so she would love somebody that's active or goes biking or something like that. She is good with other dogs as long as she's introduced slowly. She's a little bit too excited about the cats, so we would say slow introductions there and maybe some training before integrating her into a home with cats. But very trainable, very sweet, and would love a home of her own. She's about 4 to 5 years old and very, very cute, as you can see.
Yes.
Here, turn this way.
Yes, she is very sweet. We were outside with her when she was kind of expelling some of her energy, and she listens to commands well, and like you said, food motivated, so she'd be easily trained with that treat incentive for sure. But she is very sweet. So with kids, do you think that she'd be good with all ages? Maybe have to, if they're a little bit on the younger side, maybe a little bit more training?
Being a bully breed, they sometimes like to just run through little kids. So you have to be aware of the breed if you're going to adopt her with little kids, and make your kids aware too. But like we said, she's really trainable, and if she's getting regular exercise, she's going to be a lot calmer like this and way more manageable for the right home. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. We're hoping we can find her a good home.
And of course, the barreling through kids, that's more of an excitement and not an aggression.
Yeah, it's more just they're excited and they don't know their own strength. And if she hasn't had an outlet for that energy, then that could be the outcome. So definitely looking for somebody that would exercise her regularly, maybe look into some fun dog sports like agility, or looking into weight pull in town for her, something to have that outlet.
Well, she has a very sweet and energetic personality, so I think that kind of fit would be good in people who are generally active every day or a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of exercise, you guys have your Walk for Paws coming up. Let's tell me a little bit more about that in case people didn't see last week.
So we do have our first annual Walk for Paws happening. It's going to be at the Bud Miller Picnic Shelter on September 23rd. We're going to be registering starting at 10 o'clock, and then participants will start the walk with their dogs, with your own personal dog, by about 11 o'clock. And then we're going to follow that up with a charity barbecue. And we want to have some demonstrations in the afternoon, so we're hoping to put on like agility demonstrations, maybe some Frisbee demonstrations and training demos. We'll have prizes and lots of stuff going on. So definitely bring your pets out. It's a good way to get out and enjoy being outdoors with your dogs and the whole family, really. So it'll be awesome.
Definitely, it sounds like a great event, especially, we're getting to the end of summer and, there's back to school. So this is a great little send off of summer. And you're raising money for a great cause.
Exactly.
And people can learn some things about, maybe training their dogs a little bit more or, getting those tips and tricks if they do have an animal or they just want some extra help.
Exactly.
I think that's fantastic.
And we're going to have lots of pet-related vendors on site, so there will be access to a lot of trainers and different dog groups in the area, so that'll be a great opportunity for people.
And now you're back. The back of the building hadn't been quite finished when you guys moved into the building, but it's now starting to be transforming into a green space, and you guys have just started by laying down some concrete. So tell me a little bit about the progress that the back area has received.
Yeah, so we're really excited. We've been looking forward to having a green space for our dogs to play in at the back of the building. We just recently got approval of the whole layout of what we want it to look like, and now we have the forms in for the concrete. So Tam and Jay's contracting is going to be starting that right away in the next few days, we're hoping here. So it's actually starting to come together, and it's nice to see some progress back there. So we're really excited.
Yes, it's going to be fantastic when you guys have that finished for the dogs to run around in, a very safe environment for them and just free roaming and expel some of the energy in those energetic dogs, which is great.
And it'll be such a good layout for our volunteers to have a few different play groups and some holding kennels for our staff when we're cleaning kennels, and the dogs to get more outdoor time. So we're really looking forward to that.
That's awesome. Now, finally, I ask the same question every week, but is there any donations that you're in need of?
I guess as always, we're always asking for, bedding, cat food, dog food, canned food, that kind of thing. So mostly just the usual right now. If anyone wants to donate collars or leashes for the dogs, we would love to have a few more slip leads on hand because the staff does like using those. But if you're ever questioning, you can always look on our website, and we've got things posted on there. And we do have an Amazon wish list, or pretty much any of the pet stores in town carry everything we need. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me again. And Martha was a fantastic guest, and I'm sure with the right fit, she'll make a family very, very happy.
Yes, she is a sweetheart. She's going to make somebody just over the moon to have her as part of their family.
Yes, for sure.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm joined today here on Primetime Local News by Raquel Mudrick. She's a local author. Very excited to have you here in studio.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to be talking about some of the books you have out, but I just wanted to give you an opportunity to maybe tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, how you got into writing.
Yeah, for sure. So I started writing in a little binder when I was maybe 13. I used to dream up stories and I just kind of write them down. And I was always inspired by Stephen King, so I thought I would be a horror novelist, but I was terrible. It's harder than it looks to write something that's going to scare the writer or the viewer and the audience. So yeah, this book actually I've started over and over again. I probably have written the beginning 20 times. I've never actually gotten past the first chapter until March, actually, is when I started writing it.
And so you're talking about your most recent
yes, my novel here.
Talk to us a little more about it.
Okay, so it's called Stars of Aurelia, A New Beginning. It's the first installment of a trilogy. So it starts off kind of in space after Earth. It's kind of more sci-fi in the beginning, but then it moves into fantasy later on. So it starts off in space after Earth has been destroyed, and they've lived there for 2 generations, but they're running out of resources. They need to find somewhere to land and repopulate, recolonize. So they land on this planet, and everything seems good. They can breathe, they can harvest and make the elements work for them. So everything's good, but there's also a little bit of drama mixed in. One of the scouts, the soldiers, gets injured immediately.
Okay.
So
it's not all smooth sailing.
It's not all, but yeah, they do find a way to work things out, and then they find tools that lead to there was a civilization there or before them, or even now when they're there. So they do find little clues that lead to there's something going on, and I think it's about chapter 3 you kind of get an idea of where the story's headed. And
okay.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
There's highs and lows.
You were also saying that this is something that 16 and up is kind of like the age range.
Yeah, there's gore, there's some sexual scenes. I don't go like hardcore. It's not erotica, but there's definitely elements that I wouldn't say a young teenager or a child should be reading.
Now, you also have another book that you wrote, a little different kind of genre, I guess. Tell us a little bit about that one.
It's an ode to parenting. It's a poem. It's very short. I actually suffered really bad postpartum depression. So I couldn't sleep one night. My toddler was all up in my space. I had a sliver of my mattress to sleep on. And I was really struggling with the whole thing. I was on antidepressants at the time, so my moods were just elevated and crazy. But then my toddler sighed in his sleep, and it was the most beautiful sound ever, and I got emotional, and I had to write down these words that I just was feeling in the moment. And it's a very emotional little poem. Everyone who's read it has said that they've cried or gotten tears in their eyes, and they get in their feels. So it makes a perfect baby gift.
That's super sweet.
Yeah.
Beautiful cover too. Love the work on the front.
Thank you.
there.
Yeah, my illustrator did great.
And you were saying too that your husband kind of gave you that push to get
He
into
did,
this,
yeah. When I wrote it, it was just for me. And I have actually a whole plethora of poems in my phone that I've never shared with anyone. I wrote one the other night when I couldn't sleep. Usually I write when I can't sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I usually don't share them, but something in me was like, I should share this with him. Maybe he's feeling the same, because I don't think there's any parent that hasn't gone at least a little frustrated in their life. So I shared it with him, and he was like, that's really beautiful, you should publish it. And I sat on it for a little bit, but then a couple months later I had published it, and it was in the height of COVID, so I didn't really do anything with it. It just kind of sat around. It's sold more online, so it is international.
You said it was doing well in Europe, hey?
Yeah, I've sold the most copies in Europe, which is crazy. I've barely sold any in Canada, but Europe's
Got to
got
get
my
those
back.
Lloydminster numbers up. Talk to me a little bit though about what it's like to be up-and-coming author here in Lloydminster. You have some signings coming up here locally as well, so hopefully the community can
it's exciting, and sorry for talking.
Yeah, no, all good. Take the lead here.
It is exciting. Everyone's been really supportive. Every time I post online, I get more people just saying like, great job. And Kohl's in the Mall has offered to take my books in. They'll be there later today, so that'll be great. And everyone's just been really good. I'm excited to be part of this community and have them be supportive for me.
And you're continuing your journey along as well, because this is only the first installment of 3, so it's going to be exciting hopefully for people to kind of follow along of what you continue to write.
Yeah, I have started the second one. It should be released end of February. I think the 27th I have the date. It's a totally different book from this one, because I'm going through 2 different timelines, so it's nice to delve into that kind of timeline and go into a separate storyline from that. It's nice, yeah.
That's awesome. So
it's exciting.
You have a signing that's going to be coming up. You have one here in Lloyd, one in Vermilion. You don't have the date for the one in the library in Vermilion, but can you tell us when you're going to be here at the Lloyd Mall?
Yeah, October 21st from noon to 4. I will be there just signing books or just talking about it. And I think I might even do a reading. I got to talk to Carolyn about that.
Okay.
But it is exciting. And the one in Vermilion should be early November.
And how can people keep tabs on you, or you get a copy of the book? Obviously, head down to Kohl's and that'll be available, but maybe if someone's farther out there, can they get it online?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, and I also have an author page on Facebook. You just type in Raquel Mudrick, author, and I'll come up. And I'm on Goodreads, so if you find me on there, I have an author dashboard. You can talk to me and ask me any questions. I have a giveaway going on through my Facebook page, and then one for American residents on the Goodreads one. So I have a lot going on there. But yeah, buy from Amazon if you can, because I didn't get very many copies.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It was great to meet you, and hopefully a lot of people, I know there are a lot of our viewers are big readers, so hopefully they can come and support a local author. So thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be in and off with another look at your 7-day forecast. We will be seeing some more gloomy days ahead, 19, 18, Wednesday, and Thursday. Please make sure you got your umbrellas ready. We will be seeing a lot more precipitation, and then we start to warm up from there. I know, into the weekend, 26, 27, so we will have a scorching weekend. We got some beautiful days. Yeah, 26, 27 Saturday, Sunday, a lot more sunnier skies, and we will be seeing that weather kind of continue on into next week.
I think there's some good news near the end of that 7-day forecast.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
a little warmer.
I feel like it's a nice balance. I mean, I know it has been slightly gloomy, but, you know, kind of get some scorchers later on.
We're going to get some sun.
Yep.
And finally, before we leave tonight, Shelby, a good news story. Some wildfire evacuees from Northwest Territories are being offered free tickets to this Sunday's Edmonton Elks game. Now, the CFL team made the offer to any evacuee that comes to Edmonton due to the ongoing wildfire crisis. Now, the Elks Vice President Alan Watts says it's a way to show support to those evacuees, and anyone interested in attending Sunday's game against the Ottawa Redblacks can claim tickets this week at Commonwealth Recreation Centre or on game day at any ticket window at Commonwealth Stadium. So definitely those people are going through a difficult time, but hopefully this is a little bit where they can kind of just escape from it.
No, exactly. That is really awesome to hear that, you know, they kind of had that opportunity if they want, like you said, a break from reality in a way, you know, kind of go out there, have a good time and watch the team play, watch a good game.
Hopefully win.
Hopefully win.
Yeah.
That's very true, actually. That might put a disappointment on the night.
But they won last week, so hopefully they can break their home losing streak. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I think that's a really good idea, and hopefully that will give them a little bit more positivity, of course, with everything happening. But
a little bit of a distraction because definitely their whole world is kind of not in a good spot right now.
Exactly, but it's good to know they got that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for joining us for this edition of Primetime Local News. We'll see you back here again tomorrow.